Hello. Today, I would like to talk about anger. Pardon me. I've got my drink here to take care of this scratchy throat. Well, there's a lot to be angry about. Those of you who read my blog know that I'm not a person who, well, let's put this in the positive. I am a person who experiences a fair bit of anger. There's a lot to be angry about. Right now in my country, the government might shut down. Now, I don't care whether you're on one side or the other. This is not generally viewed as a good thing. So I'm a little angry about that and a number of other things. So I thought I'd take advantage of this situation to once again model that even though I'm angry, my behavior is fairly pro-social. I'm going to make a video. I'm not going to break windows in my house, go out and hurt someone, or even yell at my wife or kick the cat. So that's one thing, that my behavior doesn't have to be the same as my emotion. So one of the pop psychology myths that is ruining our field from the outside and the inside is that you need to first feel good and then behave according to your values, and that's just not true, as I often demonstrate. But the main things I wanted to talk about pertain to anger and acceptance and commitment therapy and relational frame theory, and then why someone keeps messaging me. Maybe I better turn off Facebook. You know, that's one thing that gets me really angry, is when I'm trying to make a good video and Facebook keeps going bleep, bleep. Okay. Anyhow, so in order to get really good and angry, I need first to have a thought. Someone is doing the wrong thing. They shouldn't oughta do that. Okay? And I'm right and they're wrong. Okay? Then that's not enough. It's not enough to just have the thought. I need to fuse with the thought. I need to believe in it wholeheartedly. I need to take it as if it were reality, as if it were from God or from some other mysterious force that says, I'm right, by gosh, I'm right, and this thought is right. I need to buy the thought as it is. If I introduce some skepticism into it, if I diffuse from it somewhat and say, well, that is just my thought, or that is just my opinion, I'm not going to get worked up into a really good aneurysm-causing, heart-stopping, blood-thickening, other endangering kind of anger. The other thing is that when angry, one is generally also feeling threatened. And if you, I was going to say slogged through, if you had the great pleasure of working through my 5 videos on relational frame theory, you'll recall that behavior that's under aversive stimulus control, meaning behavior that's primarily motivated by fear, is inflexible. The behavioral curve collapses. There's only a couple of options left to me once I'm operating out of threat, and that my behavior is no longer as receptive to changes in the environment. So someone could be talking to me and I could just keep saying the same thing over and over again, or something could not be working that I'm doing and I could keep persisting in it even though it's not working in the service of my values and so forth. So that often comes out in the form of extreme or black and white thinking. So cognitive therapists like to talk about this a lot, and they're right. That black and white thinking is a very important feature of disturbed, agitated emotions. Where they're wrong is what you can do about it effectively in the long run. But where they're right is that, from my perspective, and I think from most ACT therapists' perspective, is that black and white thinking is sort of a sign, it's kind of a symptom more of fusion and especially behavior that's under aversive stimulus control, that I feel threatened, that I think, oh gosh, my political party is going to take the shaft in the case of current events in America, or my country is going to be wronged in some way in the case of current events just about everywhere else and in America. And in the case of my individual life, oh, well, my spouse is wrong, or my kid is wrong, and I know, and I'm sure they're wrong. It helps to have kids around, because kids can sometimes be a little more direct and a little more frank and a little more clear than adults. And they'll just say, "You're wrong and this is all your fault." And that is sort of emblematic of the way this kind of angry thinking works. And it's thinking that, again, is under aversive stimulus control. It's narrow. There are only a couple of options, and it doesn't change in response to new information from the environment. And of course, one of the main ways we might respond skillfully to that, if it arises in our own experience, is to look at the thought and say, that is a thought. It may be a very powerful thought, maybe a very compelling thought, maybe a very dramatic and exciting thought, but it's a thought. And simply that distancing of, yeah, this is my opinion. This is an opinion that this person's experiencing here, can help us to remain skillful, to remain flexible, not to act impulsively on angry thoughts, which is really what people mean by an anger problem. They don't mean that anger, well, they might mean this, but they don't, let's say, successfully they don't successfully depict the situation accurately when they say that anger is the problem. Anger is not the problem. The angry thought isn't the problem. The problem is believing the thought, buying it, and failing to take advantage of our capacity to notice the thought, to be mindful of the thought, to be aware of it, to be a little skeptical of it, to be a little skeptical of this mind that tells me I'm the only one that's right. All you guys are all nuts. I'm the only one who's sane and normal and rational, and therefore I have the right to do whatever I want. Well, there we have it. The course of history could be changed in the future. Wait a minute, does that make any sense? The course of history in the making may go differently if more people adopt the capacity to question their own beliefs. I think I've said enough, and I'm not sure about any of it. So don't believe me. Go out, try it, see if I'm right. Give me some pushback. Let's have some democratic debate here. Or not.